Hi. Okay, I'm back in the studio and I'm going to be doing a drawing of a model that I have here that I use a lot, Julian. And what I want to talk about is the materials that I'm using for this particular piece and how I use them. So I'm going to do a very brief instruction in between while I'm doing the work, okay? So I'm going to switch the screen around and then you're going to see the materials that I use. Okay, so this is my portable kit. This isn't the kit that I use in my studio. This is a portable kit. And in this portable kit, I have a Conti crayon, which I sometimes use. I have a compressed charcoals. These are my blending tools that I'm using right now. I'm going to get another one that's clean because these ones are a little used. And this is also a blending tool, of course, an eraser. And I have, these are other kinds of blending tools that I have. And when you use them in between, you need a piece of paper towel to clean them because the tips get a little dirty. And when you're blending one color to another, what you really want to do is clean it so that you don't smush a darker color maybe into a lighter color. So you have to kind of be careful of that. These are all blending tools right here. They look like paintbrushes, but on the tip of them, there's a rubber tip. Let me see where it is. There it is. See if I can focus in. There's a rubber tip. And you have to keep that clean in between. So I always have a piece of paper towel to wipe that down on in between every time I use it. Of course, I have a sharpener, which I really don't use very often. I usually use a X-Acto knife, which I have over here to sharpen everything. These are various colors that I use. Obviously, I try very hard to keep them in color coordination so that as I'm reaching for a color like I do with my full pastel set, I'll know where I'm reaching. So I flip it and then there's the blues and greens and whites. And right here I have, you know, some golden colors and different colors that I'm putting. This actually should be over here. And it really just helps you keep track of your work as you're going, because sometimes you get into a frenzy of work and you just want to know where everything is. This all zips up closed, so I'll show you that later. So these are the various colors. These are my charcoal colors and my dark colored charcoal pencils, which I use for dark colors. That's it on this. What I'm using today is I am using it's a kind of a pastel paper that's got a lot of tooth to it. Let me just come around my studio. So I set up a temporary setup here. This paper has a bit of tooth on one side, and on the other side, it has a lot of tooth. It's just a little too heavy, and when I draw on that, it's just too heavy. But on the other side, it's just a little bit lighter, but it still has the tooth. So it's really important that you have paper with tooth, and it's also important that as you're working with it, that you don't rub on it too hard so that you lose the tooth, because you could push on it too hard and then lose the tooth. So my model today is Julian. Julian, look up, smile, say hi. Okay, and while he's working, I'm just going to draw him, and we're going to do an example of how this all goes together. Here's my kit right here to the right of me, and I'm going to set it all up, and I'm going to film it now.